amazing how things have changed since cell phones.
Yep, you got that right. CB radio, the original social network.
That's right. That's what it was, too.
Hey, Johnny Mullet with another video. Today at the CB radio video, at the intro, that old Washington base station you've seen there, I no longer have that base, along with many other base station radios that I've purchased, because they don't make a new base station anymore. I think there's only one manufacturer making CB base stations, and it's very expensive. And most people who get into CB radio, they start out with a mobile unit and they want to put a base station up, something they can plug in the wall instead of running a power supply for a mobile rig, which is what most people do when they get, into the CB world and they want to have a base station. They'll get a power supply to run their mobile unit. But I went down the rabbit hole of buying base stations, and I went through many older base stations. You got to figure a base station you're going to buy used is going to be 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, and you're going to have problems like that old Washington there. The sideband didn't work on the lower side, and I had a guy fix it, and it was so far off frequency you couldn't even hear anybody, or nobody could hear you. And the Craig, I could not get that Craig working. I had the beautiful Craig base station. Let's take a look at that Craig base station real quick. So check this beautiful piece of history out that I'm about to hack up. Well, there she is in all of her glory on what it used to look like. Oh my God, what are you doing? Are you fixing it? Got a lot of cut wires. A lot of stuff missing here. What is going on? No, actually, not fixing it, but I am going to utilize it the same way I utilized this old Motorola base. The old Motorola base does not work. The clock works, the power supply works, but the CB does not work. So what I did is use the meter, found my 12-volt power supply inside, and I use it as a power supply for a CB radio. Perfect, nothing wrong with that. And I have a clock, which is the same exact thing I am doing with this radio. The speaker was blown too, by the way. It didn't work very well. It's an old Pioneer, huh? So I'm doing the same thing here. The clock works, the power works. So when I plug this into the wall, as you see, I found my 2 wires that I need for power and ground, and I have them wired into a regular connector here for a CB radio. Get that out of the way. This is the old Trucker's external CB speaker, and I basically took it out of a housing, and I have the cord right here. So essentially what I am doing is making a power supply out of the Craig. So I have this Bearcat 980 sideband radio, and she fits right in there just like that. Okay, and by the time I get this all together and get the faceplate and everything set in, I'm gonna have a nice looking rig, and it's working. So that's the most important part. So now you know what I'm doing with the old Craig. Okay, here's the old Craig all put together. The clock is working. Let's see here with the Casio. Yep, 7 o'clock. So here it is, my new Craig base station box power supply, I guess. So we're gonna go old meets new. So there we have the Bearcat 980 sideband rig mounted inside the Craig base station. So now I have a working base station that I really don't have to worry about because I have a modern radio inside an old case. So I'm not sure if anybody's out there this early in the morning. Let's give it a shot. Break 19. Anybody out there get me a radio check before I hit the road here? Break 19. How about a radio check?
He's working.
Thank you very much, driver. You have a safe trip. Huh, somebody actually came back to me on 19 here. Good deal. So there it is. It's a modern radio. What I like about the Bearcat, it's got this scan feature. Turn the squelch up a little bit until the noise goes away. So you can scan all 40 channels, or you can memory scan certain channels, which is what I like about it. So there it is. It's going to sit there and scan the channels that I have pre-programmed. And that's a nice looking rig. That is a nice looking rig. Very happy with the outcome of that. So that's how you repurpose an old base station that don't work. I mean, like I showed you with the old Motorola, I could not fit a radio in here, but putting a radio on top works. So there's a power supply is an old base, and there's a power supply from an old base right here. What was nice about the Craig, it was large enough I could put this Bearcat in here. I could fit a 29 Cobra in here. I could fit my old realistic TRC 453 in there. I could fit whatever I want in there as long as it ain't too large. I think this is about as large as I can go as the Cobra 29 or the Bearcat. So there you have it.